This is Pontypool Road Shed on the north and west route from Newport to Shrewsbury. Driver Jimmy Watkins took his camera to the shed and on the footplate in 1962 and is seen here oiling up 4916 Crumlin Hall. He is joined by a storekeeper and is seen on the footplate with his fireman before backing to the coal stage. Clem Ford, another storekeeper, puts in an appearance, as does one of the shed shunting drivers. 4916 is then driven back by Jimmy Watkins onto a pit so he can go underneath to finish off his oiling. Pontypool Road played host to a vast variety of loco types. 5097 Sarum Castle is brought out of the shed by the shed turners. .7230 was one of 8 282 tanks for working heavy coal trains from South Wales. 2298 was visiting from Newport Evu. Sarum Castle passes the water crane, whose bag is missing, probably due to the crane being chained to a tender while filling and the loco moving off without untying it. The shed had a number of hauls on its allocation. This one was being put on a road for fitters' attention. Coming off shed is a 5600 062 tank, known as Jumbos, and used on the Vale of Neath passenger and freight turns. Supplementing the hauls were the slightly more powerful Granges, this one going off shed, the fireman bringing coal forward into the well of the tender. There were plenty of pannier tanks. This one is going off shed for the south end pilot duty, complete with shunter's truck. The old yard pilot is 4639, with driver Sid Webber in charge. A view of the south end of the shed, which comprised of a roundhouse dating from 1855. Boiler Smith Ben Phillips comes on duty. On board 6949, Heatherton Hall is an ex-Abergavenny driver, whose shed had closed in 1958. The LMS presence is seen, with Jubilee 45660 Rook, a Shrewsbury engine, which had worked down to Pontypool Road on a Manchester to Plymouth working by crewmen. Some fine pollution is being emitted by one of Pontypool Road's 7200 class tanks, but dead on shed is a smaller 280 tank 5218 of Aberbeeg, which had suffered a van running into it while taking water at Crumlin. The engine continued in service until September 1964 out of Aberbeeg. Mr. Hobbs, a shift foreman, will not be booking 5218 out today. Jimmy Watkins, fireman, comes to join us. Driver Bill Stone goes off shed on Bristol St Philip's Marshes 6860 Aberporth Grange. .6860 backs past 6958 Oxburgh Hall, the last hall built at Swindon in April 1943. The next batch were Hawksworth's modified halls. The fireman is putting the bag in to fill the 4,000-gallon tender. Driver Fred Smith pulls the crane back, and then 6958 is off shed. The ash hole was always busy. 9665 blows its brake whistle and Foreman Hobbs stops a new arrival so that a shunt can take place, with driver Arthur Lewis in charge. Jimmy Watkins' fireman at the time was John Ellis, another crew come on duty at this very busy shed. A 5600 class shunts near the south box after some track relaying. Back on the shed, driver Phil Williams oils up his loco, a Stanier 8F 48271, while his fireman goes off to get a brew of tea. A slip for the camera, and the 8F from Toten goes off shed with Phil Williams. Tom Watts and Jack Jones come on to work in this truly steam age atmosphere, impossible to recreate in preservation. Cardiff East Docks, Tresco Abbey, enters Pontypool Yards. Going home from work is Stan Bennett. Now Ted Ashman and his mate. And Harry Waring, Harry Robbins and Hubert Jones spot Jimmy filming them. Another visitor to 86G Pontypool Road was 7800 Torquay Manor, the first of a batch of 20 manors built before the war. Built in January 1938, she was withdrawn from Shrewsbury in August 1964. We leave the shed now as a 6400 pannier departs from the station. A freight right on the mark waits to follow her. A 5600 tank passes the south signal box, manned in two halves by two signalmen, with a Vale of Neath passenger train. The route towards Crumlin, near Trasnut, Pontypool 7201 heads the van train towards Coombe and a pannier heads towards Pontypool Road from Neath. Continuing our journey towards Crumlin, Aberdare's 6661 with Aberdare men work past Jimmy Watkins Class 37 diesel.